Good day and welcome to the ATP demonstration video. My name is Glenn Johnson and I will be taking you through this demonstration. We thought we'd start the demonstration off with the why. Why did we create the ATP system? We had a close look at the way Adcorp companies capture timesheets and process timesheets, and we thought there was a huge need to use technology to make the system more secure and more accurate, as well as more user-friendly. We saw that the people creating or capturing the timesheets could very easily misspell a cost center position or rate group. We saw they could very easily miss a digit from an assignee's temp number and process for the wrong temp or get an error. Once this information was imported to AX, because there's this potential for errors, they had to get a checking extract from AX, double check their work, and then advise somebody else to make the changes. We thought this was not so efficient and could be better. We saw many clients that use the ERS clocking system, which is a great system, but we saw the need to take the ERS data, pull that into a system that is closer to AX than ERS was. They can clean up and prepare the data in a more accurate, more relevant way so that AX can understand it and use it first time. We saw that the people who created and captured the timesheet data, they were not the people who imported that into AX. They had to log it and wait for somebody else to pick it up when they got to that import and then send them a checking extract. And we saw that this could have impact on them and their ability to meet the payroll deadlines. We also saw that it was a very manual process for that individual. Once they've done their importing into AX, they had to log into SharePoint, manually upload their documents and log their documents on SharePoint. We thought this could be better in all of these respects, so we created ATP. ATP was launched in January this year and is currently used by more than 20 sites, and every single week we are adding to that number of sites that are using the ATP system. But ATP is still in its infancy. There are many exciting features on the roadmap for the future. We'd like to develop and introduce timesheet checking, where the system will flag possible mistakes that the person has made. If they've captured leave hours that are more than the balance that that individual has in terms of leave days, they've captured too many hours, if they've made any mistake, it'll verify it and tell the user before they even send it to AX, which means we don't have to wait for a checking extract to come from AX because we know it's 100% right before we even click that button to send it to AX. We'd like assignees, where possible, to capture their own time so they don't have to submit manual timesheets, and we can just use the information they've captured on ATP, verify it, and then push it to AX. We'd like, where possible, where clients have their own time and attendance system, where they've calculated the hours and they've approved the hours, to just use that information straight into ATP, clean it up, prepare it, and push it into AX. Where possible, we'd like to have system-to-system integration. From their system, we direct import it, but where that's not possible, we at least extract it out of their system and we upload it into ATP. For those clients who don't have their own system and can't send us pre-approved times, we'd like to give those clients the ability to log on to ATP, view their timesheets, and approve it there. But that's the future. Let's look at the ATP and what it looks like right now. So this is the ATP login screen. As you can see, it's an Adcorp product. So Adcorp employees can use their Adcorp credentials to log into the system. When the account manager or the user logs into the system, they'll be immediately taken to the dashboard. This is the dashboard, where they'll see all the clients that they are linked to. They'll see the status of each line being a timesheet. If it's an open timesheet, which means they need to open it and start working on it, or if it's posted, or in progress, which means they've opened it, captured some data, but haven't quite finished with it and they need to. They can see the stats of the in progress, how many posted timesheets and how many open timesheets they have in their dashboard. They can very easily search for a specific client, Easy Gas, Access World. They can very easily look for a specific contract order number. They need it. And if they've been given a leave form for a very old timesheet, one that's already been posted, they can click on the periods drop down over here and select previous payroll periods. So I can select November over here and see the timesheets here for November. This is quite common because leave forms come into maybe 3 weeks later and we need to rewind and go to previous payrolls. This is also possible if timesheets come in later. You need to capture the information in the right period, so the ability to go to previous periods is very valuable to an account manager. Once a client has found the timesheet that they want to start working on, they can find it and they can click on it and start working on their timesheet. When the timesheet loads up, it's going to show you all the assignees that are loaded or placed on that contract order. If the contract or the account manager sees that there's a person missing that needs hours captured for them, they have the option of either going to AX, placing that assignee on that contract order, then coming back to ATP, refreshing their screen, and they'll see that assignee, the newly placed assignee, pull into their timesheet and reflect it over here. They also have the option to add the assignee straight from ATP by putting in the temp number, searching the AX database of assignees, pulling them into this contract order so they can start capturing times. The account manager can click on any of these expand buttons to see more details for that assignee. And here you'll see it will show them the full week for that assignee. They will see their contract order details, their position, rate, group, cost center, order number. This is everything that is loaded on that contract order. The account manager can capture when the assignee started on Monday, when the person ended, and if they had any break. The system caters for multiple shift rules, so if there is a night shift, you can put in rules for that. And then they can save and calculate, which will send the start and finish times, start break and finish times to the system. The system will pick the right rule based on if it's a day shift or night shift and return values here based on the predefined shift rules. You can even ask it to calculate automatically how much shift allowance should be worked. So it comes back with shift allowance, comes back with total normal time according to the shift rule, comes back with total overtime. If the assignee took leave, you can capture annual leave for them or family leave, sick leave. If that assignee was working on a public holiday or there's public holidays in that week, you can manually capture how many qualified hours they qualify for. You can manually capture if they physically worked on that public holiday, if you want to, or you can set up rules to tell the system to pick up. Has the assignee worked the day before? Are there hours in the day before? Has the assignee worked the day after? Are there hours in the day after? And if it meets that criteria, to award that assignee qualified hours. You can also set up rules that if the assignee physically worked on a public holiday, they came in and they worked on the public holiday, the system can clock all of those hours under public holiday worked hours so that they can be paid under the right time type. If there are non-rate categories that need to be captured, for example, well, a non-rate category is any category that doesn't have a predefined bill and pay rate. The account manager can very easily capture that and save and calculate. And that will come in there. If there is a time type, for example, back pay, that you don't see in your timesheet, you can go and add it through additional capture. You can look through the list of all the other time categories that are available on this contract order, find the back pay and add it in. And there you can capture your units, your pay rate, and your bill rate. This is for one assignee If you have many assignees and you want to do this in bulk, there's the option to download the timesheet into an Excel format. This will take all the information, all of your working assignees, put it into an Excel version of the timesheet, and download it to your browser. There you see it over there. And here is a version of the Excel timesheet. You can see all your assignees, all their contract order details. Through here, you can add new purchase order numbers. If the assignee sends you an email to say the client, if the client sends you an email to say there's a new purchase order number, please apply this to Motlatsi, to Diasi, and to Ibrahim. You can capture start, break, finish times. You can capture leave times, non-rate categories very quickly, very efficiently. Once you've done that, you can upload that file with the bulk changes and make them all very, very quickly. When the account manager has finished capturing all the times and they're happy with all the times, they can upload backing documents by choosing a file from their computer and uploading like that. When they're finished uploading their backing documents, they can post to Axe. And that is the brief overview and demonstration of the ATP system. As I said earlier, ATP is still very young and is maturing. As it matures, we'll introduce features that will make the user experience far greater, vastly reduce errors. Trust this has been informative and that you've enjoyed the demonstration. Thank you for your time.